نحمد ونصلي على رسول الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. It comes in the hadith, more or less of a meaning, that on the day of judgment there will be a group of people, and these people, they'll be sitting on pulpits of pearls, like chairs of pearls. And everybody seeing these people will be envious to these people. They'll be very jealous and have envy in their heart for these people. And this person, he won't be a martyr and he won't be a prophet. He'll be a person from those people who come from different locations and come from different tribes and different areas of the land, and who gather together only to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It will be these people. And alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the tawfiq to come to His house, allowed us to enter His home, and allowed us to pray Jamaat with Isha. For this we shall say alhamdulillah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed us to do such a thing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so great that it is He who created this earth, and it is He who has said that this earth isn't even worth a wing of a mosquito. So not the wing of a fly, not the wing of a moth. This earth is not even worth a wing of a mosquito to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, regardless of all the countries and all the mountains and all the oceans. This earth is not even worth a wing of a mosquito to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And let's say this earth was worth a wing of a mosquito to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even though it isn't, let's say it is worth a wing of a mosquito to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even though it's not. And how small will the United States be on this wing? And how small will New York be on this wing? And how small will Long Island be on this wing of a mosquito? So how insignificant we are that this earth is not even worth the wing of a mosquito to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How great is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It comes in a hadith, more or less of meaning, that one time Jibreel alayhi salam, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "Oh Allah, I want to fly across Jannah just to see how big is it." So Jibreel alayhi salam, and as you know, he's a leader of the angel, and he has thousands of wings. And it comes in another hadith, more or less of meaning, if he opens one wing, right, then you can see nothing over the horizon besides the wing of Jibreel alayhi salam. That's how big Jibreel alayhi salam is. In this universe is counted as the first sky. There's 7 skies, right? This universe is counted as the first sky. And this first sky, this entire universe is big universe that we won't even be able to discover what's in our midst. And this is what's in the midst of our solar system, let alone the galaxies. And there are billions of galaxies in this universe. So this universe is the first sky. And the second sky, and this first sky is a ring, like a ring you put on your finger. Compare a ring to a desert. The first sky is like a ring in a desert compared to the second sky. That's how big the second sky is. So this universe in the second sky is like a ring in a desert. And the second sky is like the ring in a desert compared to the third. And the third sky is like a ring in a desert compared to the fourth. And the fourth to the fifth, and the fifth to the sixth, and the sixth to the seventh. These are how big Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created these skies. And we are on the very, very small sky, this universe. So, as we know the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, when Yusuf alayhi salam, when he was thrown in the well, in a split second, Jibreel alayhi salam, this very humongous big angel, came from the fourth sky in a split second to the first sky and caught Yusuf alayhi salam right before he hit the ground. That's the power of Jibreel alayhi salam. This is his power and this is his might. That, and coming with all his force and all his strength from the fourth sky, in a split second he came to the first sky and caught Yusuf alayhi salam before he hit the ground. This is how big Jibreel alayhi salam is, how powerful Jibreel alayhi salam is. So now back to the first hadith. Jibreel alayhi salam requested Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if he could fly across Jannah to see how big Jannah is. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed him to do so. And remember, in a split second, he came from the fourth to the first. And the first is a ring in the desert compared to the second to the third, etc. So when Jibreel alayhi salam, he was flying in Jannah with all his might, right, with all his strength, as fast as he could. And then it came to a point with Jibreel alayhi salam where he got tired. This huge angel, right, who can travel incredible lengths in such a small amount of time that no human can comprehend, got tired of flying through Jannah. So then Jibreel alayhi salam, at this point, he said, wow, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so great. Look how big he created this Jannah. Then Jibreel alayhi salam asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, did I at least get almost halfway across Jannah? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, oh Jibreel, you didn't even get 1/10 of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu's Jannah. Not even 1/10. Imagine if you cut this masjid, divide this masjid into 10 parts. Not even 1/10 of this masjid compared to the entire other 9 parts of this masjid. So not even 1/10 of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, of his Jannah, of his abode in his house in Jannah. So this is how great Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. If we dip our fingers into the ocean, like the water, compare the ocean to the amount of water that's in our finger, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not even lose this much treasure. Let's say the treasure is in the ocean, and I dip our finger in the insignificant amount of water on our finger. This you can't even compare this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never even lose this much of his treasure. So as we all know, we're all in the part of the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we all know that one day we all are supposed to die. One day we all are supposed to leave this earth. And this life that we're living every day here is going to feel like a dream. So however 60, 70, 80, 90, even 100 years that we live in this world, in the next life, there'll be a point where we will be 1,000 years old, or 1 million years old, or 1 billion years old, or 1 trillion years old. The next life is forever and ever and ever. And after we pass away here, the entire mankind will be brought on the day of judgment. Everybody will be brought together. And some people will be so nervous that when they'll be biting their fingernails, they'll eat up their whole arms and won't even notice, because how nervous they will be for when they will have to take their account in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And some people will be drowning completely in their sweat because of their sins. Come the hadith more or less of a meaning, and also in the Quran, that the first roar of hellfire, the entire mankind will fall to the floor. That's how scary the first roar of hellfire will be. So all the great imams of this world, all the great scholars of this world, all the great muhaddiseens of this world, the prophets of this world, the big angels that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, all will get so scared that they'll fall to the floor, because it will be such a horrific roar of the hellfire. Everybody who's present here will fall to the floor. Everybody whom we know will fall to the floor. This is how horrific this day will be. On the day of judgment, an animal will be brought, and this animal will be slaughtered, and this animal will represent death. And from this point on, there will be no more death. Nobody can die. Nobody will taste death again. And when the people of hellfire, they'll be screaming and crying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm not asking for salvation. I'm not asking to be lifted from hellfire. I'm not asking to decrease my punishment in hellfire. I'm not asking for Jannah. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all I'm asking is for death. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give me death. And from this point on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, in this world you didn't listen to me, so why shall I listen to you now? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will order the gates of hellfire to close. And the gates of hellfire will close over these people, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, now you can't even talk. And from that point on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never ever pay attention to the people of hellfire. They'll be burning hellfire for eternity. And the people who go to Jannah, on this day, every single prophet will be worried about themselves. Isa alayhi salam will say that I'm not going to speak on behalf of even my own mother, Maryam alayhi salam. But Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he'll be the only prophet to speak on behalf of his entire ummah. Till the day of judgment, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will make dua, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my ummah, my ummah, my ummah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has things in Jannah for the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Such things that the lowest Jannah, the outside palace will be made out of green emerald. It will be the smallest Jannah in the smallest home in Jannah will be 10 times bigger than this world. And this smallest Jannah, the outside will be made out of green emerald. And the inside will be made out of red emerald. And as you travel inside your house, inside your house will be even more palaces. So one palace will lead to another palace, and another palace will lead to another palace. And if you touch a thorn of the tree of Jannah, this thorn will come into a huge ball. And this ball will be bigger than your head, wider than milk, softer than butter, and sweeter than honey. So then this is just the thorn of that tree. And can you imagine the fruits of that tree? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that the person who goes to Jannah, he'll get 3 things, right? Everything that he ever wanted. So everything that we ever would want, but there'll be a time where we'll have everything that we wanted, that we prayed for everything that we needed, or we desired in this world and the next. And the second thing, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises, like the rivers in your homes, right? The huge kingdom in your homes. And the third thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, He'll give you even more. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have for us the things that no eyes have ever seen, no hand has ever touched, and has never crossed the mind of anybody, of any angel, of any human, of any jinn. So this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has for us. So alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put us in the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed us to say this kalma, la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Now here it should be the Sahaba radiyallahu anhuma. And now here it should be Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if we follow in the paths of the Sahaba radiyallahu anhuma and the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then on the day of judgment, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put us in the group with the successful people. It comes into these more or less of a meaning that the people who you try to copy in this world, on the day of judgment, you'll be resurrected with those type of people. Right? And it's very unfortunate that today, some of us look up to people who drink, or people who are into so many haram acts of this world, whether they're celebrities or athletes or pop stars or whatever. Now the real heroes of this world, the real heroes of us, are the Sahaba radhiyallahu anhuma and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to be more like the Sahaba radhiyallahu anhuma, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to be more like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.